Welcome to Eagles Nation Sports Report. We are coming to you live for the first time, trying to get busy, finna turn up. And we gonna jump right into it, man. Tell them who you is and introduce yourself. And we
What's
gonna
go- What's going on, family? This is JT from Eagles Talk from Delco.
yep,
Just
yep.
chatting it up with my man here. Born and raised Philadelphia Eagles fan. Dude, Birdgang 31. Shout out to him. Reached out to
Yes.
me. So, I'm only 2 weeks into the YouTube thing, but he reached out to me. He liked what I had to
Yes.
offer. He paired me up with this, smart young buck right here, and we ready to do
Yep.
something big.
Hell yeah.
Do
Hell
it
yeah.
big.
Hell yeah. We gonna let the crowd kind of build up and shit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, shout out to Birdgang 31 because low key, dude is a hustler, man. I had to
Absolutely. I mean,
I
I
had
was
to
thinking.
tell him.
I was
I had
thinking
to
about that all day. I mean, yeah, I see now. I've only known him a short amount of time, and I might not know him well, but when we were in that meeting last night, I could see his vision. I mean, and he's
man.
speaking exactly what's always been on my mind. I mean, about taking over this YouTube thing. Like I said, I was on the sideline for so long. I'm
Hmm.
glad I got up and put my hat in the ring. And like I said, I reached out to some guys. We got our heavy hitters like Philly 500, Philly Mike.
Yes.
They've been carrying the flag for us. So it's
Yeah.
about time that we come with some reinforcements. And
On
Birdgang
God.
31,
On
he
God.
definitely got the remedy. We gonna be the reinforcements. I'm
For
100%
real.
behind the vision, and like I said, man, I'm just glad to be a part of this, brother.
Man, that shit give me goosebumps just to feel that shit. Cause just like you said, like it was a whole meeting, and just to let people. I ain't trying to let people too much behind closed doors, but man, it's a movement. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Absolutely,
just on the sense that Eagles Nation, it ain't just two people. You know what I'm saying? It's a nationwide thing. You know what I'm saying? We the
exactly,
best fans in the NFL, and ain't no other content creators more out there than us. You know what I mean? We the ones pushing we the ones make our voices heard more than any other fan base out there. And that's for
exactly,
sure. And not to mention the organization actually listens. You know what I'm saying? They actually make moves, you know what I'm saying, kinda dictate on what the fans want. Motherfuckers mugs know if they ain't been doing their job. You know what I mean? So if Harry
absolutely.
Roseman knew
It's
he
like
better
Jason
have.
Tatum said at the parade, man. Nobody likes us. We don't give a
Hmm.
what. I mean, we are who we are. For many years, we had to listen to Cowboys fans and Giants fans and Washington fans, come up with that same lame line. How many Super Bowls y'all got? You ain't never did this. You ain't
Man,
never did that. You know what, man? All that talk is stinking and dead, man.
man,
Like I said, we here. We always been
and
here even before we won a Super Bowl. I mean, we're gonna be loud. We're gonna be who we are, no matter what. And like I said, one channel at a time. We're gonna take this
hmm
YouTube thing over. Eagles Nation, Bird Gang.
Eagles Nation,
This is
Eagles
ours.
Nation.
We're gonna run
We
YouTube.
gonna be everywhere, bruh.
Absolutely.
Everywhere. I'm telling
Absolutely.
you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
and like I said before, man, shout out to Bird Gang 31, man, because
Definitely.
he the one, he that energy behind it. You know what I'm saying? We
Absolutely. Like
follow
I say,
suit.
I mean, I didn't even, I didn't know the brother. I mean, when I first started
Hmm.
this, I mean, I reached out to guys that I mentioned, Philly 500, Stephen
Hmm.
Hyder, Philly Fresh, because
I
I
don't mean to
had
cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off, but let me say this
no
before
problem.
I forget. It was I think a lot of it was the simple fact that um he don't discriminate. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like as far as like a motherfucker that excuse my language, a person that be like, oh, they only got this amount of subscribers. They only got this amount of subscribers.
Exactly.
Not to forget, it is a business, but at the same time, everybody, he see the potential in Muzz. Everybody got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So we can
Absolutely.
definitely get
That's
behind that.
exactly what he said in the meeting. I mean, and like I said,
Mm,
that's why I appreciate him. Like I said, he didn't know me. I mean, he reached out to me, and my very first day when he was trying to give me tips and trying to,
oh
hit
God,
me with stuff.
yes.
And and I definitely appreciate that. And I hope one day that I can get in a position to reach back, to a
For
young
real.
Eagles content creator
For
and do the
real.
same thing. Like I said, it's like in my words,
Hell
we all
yeah.
one nation, man. We all
Hell
want the
yeah.
same. I mean,
Hell yeah, because
you know,
we've been watching other motherfuckers too, and other people. I'm sorry, that inspire us. You know,
absolutely,
like Philly 500 and
exactly.
LB, and
That's what they,
even other content creators like the Cowboys content creators, but Mugs. Mugs that's doing this YouTube thing, they getting press passes. You know what I'm saying?
right.
We seeing content creators actually, you know what I'm saying, making that move, making that push to where, you know what I'm saying, we are actually covering the team to the point where we are getting access to these meetings, access to these press conferences, and being able to ask important questions and being able to give it out to our viewers, because we not held down to, saying to we not signed by the team. So
Exactly.
what we say, they not paying us, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? So
We free thinkers over here, man.
it's
We
straight from
free
the heart.
thinkers.
Hell yeah, it's straight from the heart. And we wear that right on our sleeve, you know what I mean? As Eagles fans, we passionate. Anybody that comes to our team gotta be passionate for sure.
Exactly. And let me expand on that. Just because, as Eagle fans, when we critique the team, when we're not, it doesn't mean that we're not real fans when we criticize the team. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what a real fan does. You take the good along with the bad. You recognize everything that's great, but you also equally recognize everything that's, not good. And, like I said, over the
Hmm.
years, I've seen a lot of great football. I've seen a lot of, bad football. And
Hmm.
just because, we're critical and, even we could take our criticism a little bit over the line doesn't mean we're not real fans. I mean, people who think
Hmm.
that way, I mean, just aren't, they're not as invested as we are as Eagles fans. It's
For
like I
real.
said, there is nothing more in sports that I love than the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean,
Man, it
I
felt
don't,
good. It felt so good to have football season back, man. Like
absolutely.
just to literally, I'm just watching football just to have fans back, to see fans back in the stadium. Yo, like I didn't want to miss nothing from the game. I'm not a Cowboys fan or anything. I was hoping that they lost, and the whole time I was just happy to see a great game, bro.
Yeah,
Which
and it
which
was. It
bring
was.
us
It was
which bring
definitely
us
a great game.
to
It was pretty
yeah.
much, what I expected. I mean, like I said, and this is another thing that goes into it. Other Eagles fans, when they hear an Eagles fan, just speak, not be. I don't like Dallas being good. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the Giants, the Washington football team. I hate it when things are going good for those teams. But I'm
Man,
a
yeah.
realist. You know what I'm saying? I
A
mean, I'm a realist.
realist,
I
yes.
mean, I look at it for what it is. And I said this in my, one of my earlier videos. I said that Dallas offense, that
Mm-hmm.
as long as they stayed healthy, they're going to be a
Mm-hmm.
problem. And we
Yeah.
saw it last night. Now I wasn't sure. I didn't know that Dak was going to come out slinging it like he did last night. But man, he balled out. Like, you got to give that kid credit. And like I said, when I spoke about this in another video, when I say hate or dislike, I don't mean as civilians. Like, I don't wish like injury on any man or any sort of personal harm. I'm talking about as a football team.
Right,
Now,
right.
it was terrible to see what happened to him last year. I mean, you never want to see that. You don't
Yeah.
want to see somebody's livelihood, being at
Mm-hmm.
stake like that. So, like I said, I give that kid kudos for coming back, and he looks strong. I hate it. I hate it so much that it's like that.
Man,
He looks strong, and like I said, props to Dak Prescott, man. He played a hell of a game last night.
man, that game, like you said, we just realists, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing. When people come to our channel, you know what I'm saying, they gonna know that we some realists and we speaking from the heart. And
Right.
Muz can follow us. I put the link down there in the description. So you know what I'm saying. It's my first time, so hopefully it's under there. If it's not, I'll just add it to it. You know what I'm saying, afterwards. But like you said, we some realists, and when I'm watching the game, mind you, I play fantasy football too. So you know what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm all into it. But watching the game, I was like, damn, the Cowboys kind of look good. Like mind you, I'm looking at it from a perspective like, okay, I seen Carson Wentz deal with an injury coming back. Let me see how Dak Prescott gonna come back from his injury, knowing, man, he came back slinging it. Matter of fact, slinged it over 50 times. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I
think
mean?
58 times, and he completed 42 of them. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
argue now. And I'm not quite sure, about the Cowboys plan. I
Mm,
mean, because you got Ezekiel Elliott now. By all reports, I mean, that he came in and he looked explosive. I mean, with the little holes
yeah.
he had. But the bottom line is, you don't, go away from something because you fear that you won't be able to do it. But
Right. Right.
they were throwing that ball against Tampa, and that offensive line, without Zach Martin last night, they really
Mm.
showed out last night. I mean, you got to give them credit. I mean, just
I
give the
was
credit where it's due.
impressed. I was impressed. I was like, damn, okay, this is what I was afraid of happening because you always know that Dallas, got their weapons, but you always kind of just bank on them. They gonna, be Dallas and they ain't
Exactly,
gonna put it all together. But for this to be the first game, season opening game, not in Dak Prescott, for him this to be his first game, it don't seem like that injury is holding him back not one bit. You know, Ezekiel Elliott was basically a non-factor. He only had 33 yards
exactly.
on a handful of attempts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't
Was
look good.
good, my
10
guy.
yards per rush. I mean, but he did a good job on blitz pickup. I tell you that because Tampa. I mean, I think Todd Bowles, he was starting to get so frustrated. He was like, let me
Yeah,
dial up some pressure. But Dallas, I mean,
yeah,
their
yeah.
line, they really locked that up last night. And like I said, I was just sitting there, like, I'm not, totally shocked because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and I've said this before, no team wants to hear going into a football game how the other team is going to dominate you, how your
Right,
line,
right. For
because
real.
your all pro guard is going. No team wants to hear that all week. So, and they played with some
Hell no.
spunk last. You could see that defense every time they came off the line.
Yeah,
They
man.
might not have gotten
They
there,
had
but
four turnovers. Four
exactly
turnovers,
they played
guys.
with fire
Like,
last night.
yeah, they definitely showed up and showed out. And like I said, I play fantasy football, so I was watching it for plenty of reasons, but also to be watching just on the strength that I'm trying to peep out what I'm trying to peep out I'm trying to peep out how what we need to prepare for. You know what I mean? Because
Exactly
god damn,
right.
I'm
Because
I'm
now listen. Now, let me ask you this: when you see C.D. Lamb and Amari Cooper and Michael, now I know Michael Gallup got hurt. Some news came out a little bit earlier that he's going to be out for a little while. But when you see those three out there catching those passes, what did you think when you think about our secondary?
Hey, one thing for sure, that was on my mind. When I'm evaluating and looking at them, I'm looking at that. He say, y'all see Gallup out 3 to 6 weeks. Oh shoot. Did you see that? I ain't see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I saw. Yeah, that came out a little bit earlier, and also their
Mm.
right tackle, what's his name, Leon Collins, reportedly was
Collins.
suspended for 5 games. Reportedly, I mean the reports are kind of sketchy, but he supposedly got suspended for violating the substance abuse policy. Now I don't.
Yeah, I just read something about that earlier today.
Yeah, man, it is. But like I
That's
said, Dallas. And
see,
like
see,
I
but
said,
listen
hey,
though,
I'm
listen
not I'm
though.
not shedding no tears that they lost the game, but
Right,
you
right,
forced
right.
Tampa Bay into 4 turnovers and you still lost the
But
game. I
yeah,
mean,
see, exactly. And listen, we was just saying, man, yeah, they look good, but what we always Cowboys gonna be Cowboys. And right after this game, boom, dude drop out 3 to 6 weeks. Boom, Collins suspended. It's only a moment of time. But for the most part, let me get back to your question. What was I thinking when I seen them wide receivers? Because that's what I was the band. I'm like, damn, okay, we got Darius Slay. Good thing we got another corner. But one thing that they made known was the simple fact that uh uh they gonna pick on that one-on-one coverage. They
Absolutely.
gonna pick on that one-on-one coverage for sure. Every time Amari Cooper had that one-on-one coverage with dude. Now I don't know too much about the guy that was covering, but he was getting baked up. They ended up having to switch who was covering him, and that made a much of a difference. But man, Amari Cooper looked good. As a matter of fact, 139 yards with 2 touchdowns. He was getting open. He was targeted 16 times.
Yeah. I mean,
16 times. That one-on-one coverage, you gotta be on them. And with that being said, that pressure, which goes back to what you was talking about, they offensive line. They for them to not have a main guy in there, they look pretty good. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, with guy being suspended, we don't know how much that's gonna affect their offensive line, but for the most part, their offensive line. What's up, my guy? Birdgang 31. You should have tuned in earlier. We was just
there he
talking
is. What's
about you,
going
bro.
on, Birdgang? Salute to you, brother.
Yep. But yeah, man, they was that one-on-one. I was looking at that like, wow, if they gonna be picking on that, and they made it known that, hey, every time we see it, we gonna pick up on it. And not to mention, that's just one wide receiver. You asked me about the other guy, CD Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad guy too. Once the ball get in his hands, he is a guy that that everybody can say is a playmaker for sure.
Exactly. Now he had a
So
couple concentration drops last night, and actually
yeah,
the interception that Dak threw was actually because of CD. I mean, that's the ball that he should have caught. It might not have been a perfect pass, but he definitely should have caught it, and it bounced off his hands. But I'm just sitting there
mm-hmm,
looking, and I'm going to go back. Talking about our corners.
yeah,
Now we got to think. Now Darius Slay is what 29, 30 years old. Now you don't get better as a cornerback. Now this isn't the Darius Slay from 3-4 years ago. You
mm,
know what I'm saying? But it was still a
yeah,
really, 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 really good corner.
yeah,
Maybe like just above, at the edge of a number one corner, but definitely number two. Which brings
yeah.
us to
See,
Steven Nelson. Now, Steven Nelson.
right,
Now let's not forget, the report. He got beat a lot in training camp, and but he's scrappy. You know what? He reminds me of Jalen Mills. They got like the same kind of mindset. It's like, okay, you know what? I've gotten beat, but you know what? I'm not gonna. I'm just moving on to the next play.
yeah,
But it's definitely a concern. When we signed Steven Nelson, and listen, I love my fellow Eagles fans, but a lot of our fans acting as if it was Jalen Ramsey coming in the door. I mean, and look, folks, this isn't a top duo of cornerbacks in the league. It's a very solid one, and
right. Is
then I
your
think
screen like?
uh,
Hey, your screen is like it's
yeah,
dark.
I think my lamp went out.
Oh, okay,
Hold
okay.
on 1 second. See if I can get
I
it.
figured, I figured you were just in the dark, so
Yeah, wait a minute.
I
Hold on
figured
one
you
second.
just.
Hold
Oh man, yeah, man, that was a crazy game, man. That was a crazy game. Shout out to you, man, Bird Game. We was just saying how, man, we just respect the movement. We just respect the movement, man, because that meeting last night was definitely what's up. Mm, you good? Oh, shoot. Okay.
All right, there it is. I had to actually turn my
Boom,
living room light
boom.
on because my like I said,
Okay.
the lamp thing that I bought must be a cheap one because it just went out. Sorry about that.
No. You stay, shoot.
But not,
But
but like I said,
yeah,
like I was
man.
saying, man, about our cornerbacks. I mean, and I've said this in videos. I mean, I'm not 100% confident. Like I said, I'm
Mm,
fine with Slay. I'm fine with Nelson because he has experience. Avante Maddox, I'm going to say this. I thought it would have been better for him at a position change at safety. I really
mm,
thought that he could thrive
yeah.
because we've seen him do it in the his rookie year.
Now, now, with the pieces added that Dallas, you know, added with Micah Parsons, and with the additions, you know, do actually say how you feel about the Cowboys defense. And to me, I feel like if I'm comparing our defense to their defense, I still like our defense more because our defense is more consistent. We not dealing with a lot of rookies. We had that pressure up front. Fletcher Cox is already established, and then we already play with random kind of uh linebackers, but in the same sense, we still got who is that Alex Singleton, who dominates and always is around the ball. That's a guy
Absolutely.
that you can always rely on. That's the guy that you can always rely on for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't too much worried about, what I'm saying, our defense compared to, Dallas defense. We just watched them get ate up by, Antonio Brown and Gallup. We got
Absolutely.
some
But what I will
we
say
got
about Dallas's defense, in which I said in my earlier videos, that they will not be anywhere near as bad as they were last year. I mean, it should be impossible for them to be as bad as they were historically bad last year. Now, Dan Quinn, he's a well-noted defensive guy, and like I say, he bought in, and you saw those guys last night. DeMonte, KZ that caused the fumble from Chris Godwin in the end zone. And
yeah,
like I said, you could just see the energy in that defense. I mean, they might not have gotten
yeah,
home all the time, but
yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence, I mean, he
Speak,
was fired up. He didn't always get the sack, but he got that big, strip sack, that fumble. I'm sorry, the fumble on
yeah.
Ronald Jones. I mean, they're playing with some zeal. I mean, and like I tried to, tell other people, I mean, you can't expect them to be as bad as they were last year. They do, and this is another thing. Now, Mike Evans is a great receiver in this league. He
Mm,
only had 2 catches. So what that means is Trayvon Diggs must have had a good night last night. And that was the
that's
corner
true.
actually that I wanted the Eagles to draft,
I
in
saw
the
that.
second round, but we took Jalen Hurts instead. So like I said, they're building. Their defense is not there yet, but I got a feeling that if they stay healthy as the season goes on, they won't
Hmm.
be top 10 shutdown, but they'll be a problem. I mean, they're not going to just let you treat them as a doormat. That's my opinion on Dallas's defense.
Yeah, man. Dude brought up a good point. Say, Parsons lining up everywhere pre-snap. You did see him everywhere, and he
Yeah.
was making a lot of mistakes. That's the good
Yeah,
thing
yeah, he
about,
got lost a
uh,
couple times last night, but
yeah,
once he gets
that's
that
the
under
good thing.
control,
Yeah, that's the good thing about us being able to take advantage of him being, a rookie, because we do play them in about 2 weeks. So, I'm definitely excited for that. I'm thinking, for the most part, when you brought up energy, as far as I see the energy on defense, I thought about, damn, I saw the energy on offense, bro. Like that was like, you know, last season I kind of looked at it as like, okay, they was kind of doing a lot of comeback, comeback from behind. Yo, they went toe to toe with these guys. But
absolutely.
at the same time though, they the Bucks gave them four four turnovers. You know what I mean? They
Mm-hmm.
gave them four turnovers. So really, it was Tom Brady was being Tom Brady all day. It was dudes just being
Absolutely.
goofy on the Bucks. Imagine if they would never turned the ball over 4 times, they really would have blew them out. Let's be honest.
Um, yeah, they would have had the chance, but on the flip side, Dallas's kicker. Oh my God, he was brutal last night. I mean, that first kick from like what it was like 29 yards. I mean, that
Yeah,
thing wasn't even close. Then he missed the extra point. The 60-yarder, I was sitting in there like, wait a minute, why would they have this guy attempt a 60-yard field goal
man.
when he's struggling as bad as he is?
Hey, hey, the
Maybe he
kicker,
needed to get warmed up. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, because low key, he a great kicker, bro. He can kick, he can bomb that mug 60 yards. Mind you, I told you I'm from St. Louis, so I'm a Rams fan. He came from St. Louis. He's known for. I was in the stadium watching him kick 60 plus yard field goals like it wasn't nothing. And in St. Louis, we kicked in the they played inside of a dome, so that he was booing them. I was like, like it was low key kind of amazing. So when I saw Dallas get him, I knew they had a guy. So low key, when I seen him hop out there for that kick, I kind of knew they was gonna make it. But Tom Brady was Tom Brady, and that's one thing too. We gonna jump into, because we've been talking a lot of Dallas. We got to talk about how Tom Brady was just Tom Brady. Like when I looked at him last night, I saw a quarterback that I was like, that's what I wanted my quarterback. That poise, just that poise. Just give me that poise that he had. When you saw dude come back, now mind you, they was running hurry up offense. Dude coming back, he cool as a motherfucker, throwing thumbs up. Hey, be cool, we got this. When I seen his facial expression throwing thumbs up to the running back, hey, cool, calm down, we got this. Then when I saw that, I said they finna win, bro. This
I
guy,
mean,
he has,
listen,
and then he got his ultimate safety net in Gronk.
mm-hmm,
Bro, he went downfield and executed like a boss, bro. Well, that
absolutely.
was
And
a classic Tom Brady. And he how old? 40 what?
what,
44?
44 years old, I think.
44 years old? Doing
I
that?
think maybe 40, maybe 42, 43. But nothing has changed about his game. I mean,
Woo!
they
I
always call
said,
him. Like,
damn. I had goosebumps. But that's why I was excited for football season for shit like that, bro. Like, dude, literally came back and low key, they had plenty of opportunities to put the Cowboys away. When they was in the red zone when dude fumbled the ball, I thought that was some goofy stuff, bro. I'm not even gonna
exactly.
lie.
That was you talking about the last fumble by Godwin when he was trying to get.
Yeah, man, Godwin.
Yeah, that was bad. I mean, but like I said, credit to Demonte
I
Cassidy. He
was so
did.
mad at him. I was so mad at dude because me as a Eagles fan, I just want them to put it away. I didn't have a good game. Okay, put it away now. That's what I'm thinking. Put it away. It's that time.
I
They
mean,
playing with him. I said, God damn, like stop it. Shit, stop the
and like,
bleeding. But then
and like
dude,
I said,
and listen, the Cowboys wide receivers now. They wide receivers, they was for Dak Prescott to go downfield, and that's the thing that scared me the most. I said, "Damn, it don't look like Dak Prescott missed a beat." He literally
yeah,
came
exactly.
in. It was
It
it was just
kills me to praise the Cowboys. I mean, it hurts my soul to say good things about the Cowboys, but how can you not? I mean, it's all right there in the pudding. I
man,
mean, and these are things that we knew. I mean, like I
yeah.
said, Lamb, Cooper, like I said, Gallup, he went out, I think somewhere in the second quarter. But they did
Mm,
have another kid. What's that kid's name? Quincy Wilson, something Wilson. Who's
mm,
played pretty good in opportunities. I mean,
man.
now what I will say now to try to make you feel a little bit better is what team has had three elite wide receivers ever won the Super Bowl, or when's the last time it happened? So I mean, I'm looking for something, to be
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I mean, I recognize it for what it is, what the Cowboys did, and what they are.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I don't like it when things
It's an
go against the
interesting stat
Cowboys.
though that I seen. It's an interesting stat though that I seen. They say he 0 for 7 when throwing 50 plus attempts. So
Who's
it's
that? Dak.
Dak Prescott when throwing 50 plus times. Now I don't know 40 plus times, but I know 50 plus times he 0 for 7. I heard a different stat
Exactly.
when they said 40 something. It was still
Exactly.
it was
And
still
here I
it
go.
was
Here
still
I
not a
go again.
winning record though. It still wasn't a winning record. So basically the point I'm trying to make is that with Dak Prescott throwing for all these yards, we seen him throw for a lot of yards last season, and it still didn't produce any wins. So as
Exactly.
long as they not winning, I'm not worried about it.
Exactly.
So
Let me get in on that though. But see, and here I go again, like coming to the defense, and I hate it. Oh my God, I don't want to
yeah,
defend.
yeah,
But like last year, all of that stuff, it was coming in garbage time. Remember those games where they really got behind? He was throwing for
yeah,
400 and 500 yards. You can't say that about last night. I mean, he went.
exactly,
It
yeah,
was a duel. I mean, he did all he could,
yeah,
all the way down
yeah.
to the
I
very
said,
end.
yeah. They went toe to toe, man. They went toe to toe. That's why I seen a video today watching. I'll be watching Undisputed. I'm watching Skip Bayless on that mug, and I already know he lit up. And he already talking about a moral victory, and I'm like, I guess you can call that a moral victory because everybody had them losing, but nobody had them going out with a fight like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
So
whatever helps him sleep at night, moral
for
victory.
real,
I'm glad they got the help.
I'm I'm
Take
I'm
that
still
L.
turned up though. So with them losing, and us still having to play, I'm turned up about it. Like when I seen at Atlanta the first time on the schedule, I say, damn, okay, this could be an easy win. I always not an easy win, but at first it seemed easy. But the closer it's getting, I'm starting to see like it might not be as easy as I thought it was considering. Then I'm start seeing stats. Okay, every seeing our record when we play Atlanta, um, in Atlanta, our record isn't good. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like
No, it's cool. But we gonna say that for last. I mean, I definitely hear you, and we definitely gonna politic on that. But let me get your thoughts. What about the rest of the division? We talked about the Cowboys. We know what they are
mm,
offensively. What are your thoughts on the Giants and I'm sorry, the Washington football team?
to be honest, they a mystery squad, man. They a mystery squad. The Redskins, they banking on the fact that they defensive line is elite. Now, don't get me wrong, they was elite last year, but ultimately our defensive line still produced more sacks than the Washington Redskins. You know what I mean? And to me, that's what matters. You know what I mean? Like just because we didn't have the record to what's the word I'm looking for, to compliment our defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't disqualify the fact that we still had some beast on the line. I feel like that got lost in the fact that our record didn't complement the fact that how good our defensive line is, and that was without us even having Javon Hargrave in there for the season. So I think the Washington Redskins, everybody are predicting them to be number one if uh Brian Fitzpatrick can be consistent and not turn over the ball. To me, I'm not seeing. First of all, if they number one, that would mean they number one 2 times in 2 years in a row. First of all, that hasn't happened since we've done it back in 2004. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Yep. Yes, indeed.
I don't see the Redskins being that team to find they first of all the division got NFC least title for a reason. So they wasn't even that good themselves. You know what I'm saying? So they
Mm-hmm.
don't have that cachet to go. They shouldn't have that cachet to go into next season just thinking that it's gonna be handed to them because they barely got it the first time. So
Right.
with that being said, I don't see them repeating that. Now I don't think they're gonna be a bad team. Now I do think they're gonna be better than the Giants. That's 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 what I think. Now before we get to the Giants, how you do you agree on Washington? Like how you feel about the
You know
Redskins?
what? Actually, I do agree. And like I said, I did list, the teams in the NFC East, and I had put Washington by number one just for default from last year. But you know what? I had a week or so to think about it. And I was one of
Mm,
those ones. Now, the defense is legit, but I had to
mm.
ask myself, are we really overhyping, you know, the Washington football team as a whole just because of the defense? Now, listen, they made a few. I'm not 100% in love with everything they did offensively. They got what's the main man's name from Carolina that they picked up?
Um, um, but
Samuels. What is his name? Curtis. Is that his name?
I think so. I think
Well, either
so.
way, look, I don't think offensively. We know Terry McLaurin. He was a
Yeah, of course,
revelation.
of course.
When he came out. But like I said, I think they're poised to take a step back. Maybe they're not going to take 10 steps back, but I think they're
Yeah.
poised to take a little step back. And I totally agree with you. Now that defense is legit. I mean, they got what 5 or 6 first-round picks on that defensive line.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous in itself. And one thing too that I keep on forgetting about, that kind of matters when it comes to evaluating the Redskins is the fact that they leadership, the head coach, the head man in charge is different now. This is a guy
exactly.
that comes in, they came in with a pedigree. You know what I mean? And
Exactly. Now, Ron
this is
Rivera, I remember Ron Rivera when he was with the Eagles, as an assistant offensive coach. Now, I respect Ron Rivera. He was a former player. He played with the '85 Bears and all of that.
mm,
But I mean, last year, I mean, this division like stunk. I mean, it stunk to
yeah.
high heaven. I mean, and
Hell yeah.
it was just a situation where it was the best of the bad bunch. Now, like I said, I respect him as a coach, but
Yeah.
like I said, I
So
just think
so
it's all
so
over.
you
But
don't
I ain't
think
think I
really
will.
like he
I will
not
admit,
coming to
I will,
Washington
I will.
establishing a championship pedigree.
Exactly. I
You don't
mean,
see that.
yeah, not right now. I'm sorry. Washington
Okay,
football.
so that goes hand in hand with the fact that they don't have that cachet to repeat as
No,
number one.
absolutely not. I mean, and let me say that Ryan Fitzpatrick, he has over history. He's had the Eagles number. I mean, he's beaten us when he's been with Buffalo. He
Right,
did beat him
right.
when he was with the Jets,
Man,
but
we
he
always seem
beat
to
us
lose
with
against wild man, like
But
just the
how long is
wild
that
quarterback.
magic going to last? I mean,
Yeah,
how long is
yeah.
the Fitz magic going to last? I don't think
Right,
it's
right.
going
And
to
I think
kind
we
of.
play them towards the end of the season too.
Yes, we do. I mean, yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna get a
so
hold of his old ass. Trust me, we're
yeah,
gonna get a
for
hold of
sure.
him somehow. I mean, he
Oh
might
yeah,
have
that
a
defense
good
gonna
start.
be defense gonna be humming, and that's why I'm saying this year is gonna be the year where we establish the fact that we have the best defensive line in the NFC East. Like, I know the Redskins coming off a year where they, for some odd reason, just feel like they just so dominant. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just on the strength that they feel like they guys got the pedigree for them being
But
first round picks,
that
but at the
Chase
same
Young, oh my, that Chase Young boy, I would love to have him on the Eagles.
man,
Boy,
we
that
straight
is a
we
beast. He
man we
is a beast.
co- collectively, and mind you, that's the great thing too. They not finna, man. I guys in our practice been getting that work, and when I say that, I mean preparing for guys like Chase Young. They're facing this year. They're doing something different where the ones is facing the ones. Our ones, they are getting that work. Our defensive line, we just got done talking. They're not no slacks. You know what I mean? So preparing and being ready for Chase Young, and mind you, he's not the only defensive guy we gonna be having to get ready for this season. We gonna be ready for some Chase Young. You know what I mean? And mind you, they some rival opponents. I just don't see them repeating as being that
Yeah,
number
but
one.
don't forget his company. I mean, Deron Payne, John Allen, Montez
Mm,
Sweat. I mean, they're just as formidable. I mean, and they form a hell of a group. I mean,
mm.
it's nasty. That defensive line is nasty. I mean, like I said,
Right,
we
right.
where it's due. But
Like I
as
say,
far in terms of the Eagles and yeah, I keep saying the Redskins, the Washington football team,
mm,
our offensive line, if it stays healthy, now we're not going to totally neutralize them. I don't think no line in the league can do that to them, but
mm.
I think we can hold them at bay for the most part.
Oh
In
yeah,
order
for
to
sure.
give Jalen, whoever our quarterback is going to be, time to do what they got to do. But like I said, that front is legit. I mean, it is.
Oh
But
yeah,
like I said, but I've gotten past the point. I'm not going to continue to overhype them. That's why I took a step back off of the Washington football team. I actually have
right,
us, I mean, we'll get to the rankings, but I actually have the Eagles over the Washington football team this year. We'll get into that in a little bit, though.
right. Okay. Shit. So with that being said, we already kind of see that these guys gonna be better than the New York Giants. How you feel? So would you agree with that first off before I jump into? Do you think the Giants gonna be better than the Redskins?
No. And I'm going to
No.
get into that further, but just to answer your question, no, I don't think the Giants are better.
Right. Me either. So I just don't understand why the Giants getting all this hype. Now, mind you, I got a brother. He's a Giants fan, and I already told him we coming for their head. Now I've been now I don't got nothing to hype up about the Giants. They ain't so I'm just talking about they fan base and why they thinking that they so what I'm saying got this safe for them to even be in top one talk. You know what I mean? When they not even what I mean like when these guys not even they don't even have a quarterback. Look at them. They got Daniel Jones, you know what I mean? Like who is still matter of fact on his prove it year. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it from the standpoint where they really gonna be the ones that's last because considering the fact that they still having offensive line issues, Now we just seen Dallas not having no issues with their defensive line. We know Washington not gonna have no issues with their line, and we just got done talking about our line. So with the Giants, I already know they not coming with no firepower. I'm already prepared to be on YouTube watching they guys react with sorry explanations for why they team ain't do such and such and coming up with all these excuses because it's gonna be crazy, man. I already know it.
The Giants, and I had did
Mm-hmm.
a video. I think it's my third or fourth video.
Mm-hmm.
Where I went into all of these years of as far as our division rival, picking the Dallas Cowboys to spit the most venom at. But I am totally off that. Now I don't like the Cowboys,
Mm-hmm.
but the hate that I have for them, I am transferring that onto the Giants. And it's because of some of the stuff you just said. All the
For
chirping that
real,
they've
all
done
the
last.
chirping. I said I want they coach Joe Judge head on the stick because
Exactly, and
how he was talking when we had when we doing what's best for us. How he talking like we owed them something. You know what I mean?
exactly, and
Like
his team had only won 6 games. How can you sit there and
exactly.
complain when your team only won 6 games? And then it was some other stuff. I mean, I remember when they signed Dory Jackson, how they tried to throw that in our face. How
Yeah,
a couple of their players said, Dory was headed to Philly, but then such and such, and just made a big seriously.
man,
Dory
yeah,
Jackson
yeah.
is a former first round pick who just got cut by his original team.
Right,
And
right.
this is a whole bunch of stuff that this has been adding up. And then, like I said, the Giants, you know, um, that is our natural rivalry. Like I said, they're only 90
Mm,
miles up the turnpike from us. Plus there's
mm,
always been this whole Philadelphia, New York kind of thing. Now, listen, no disrespect to New York. I mean, I
mm.
love the New York culture. I'm not talking, but there's always been that sort of
Yeah, yeah, for
rivalry.
sure.
And then from what I hear is that the fans in Dallas, they don't care about Eagles. They look at Washington as their main rival. Like
Yeah,
they don't really their fans out there don't care about us.
man.
So it's like I say, I think it's time for me to take that,
Oh
and,
yeah, I
just
feel
like a
that
New York
same
game.
exact way, bruh. That's crazy that you said that because that's exactly how I feel. When I told my brother that I wanted Joe Judge head on the stick, that was me taking all that frustration and all that I had for Dallas for some odd reason, and transferring that over to the Giants where it rightfully belongs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Because them
yeah,
guys,
they
boy,
got. And I actually rooted for them in 2007 when they played the Patriots. Mainly because I was
mm,
mad the Patriots beat us in the Super Bowl a few years earlier.
for real.
I actually
Hey,
rooted for the Giants. Oh, what a mistake! Oh
yeah.
God, that's a mark against my soul. I would never ever root for another division
Man,
rival. If they make it to the Super Bowl, we don't. Oh, that was
man.
nasty.
I
But I
always,
mean,
every time I think about the Giants, I always think about the Deshaun Jackson punt return. Like,
absolutely. I mean, I seen a couple. I seen Brian Westbrook, the running back.
oh
Where
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Giants. I mean, the Giants had pretty much dominated that game. I mean, they had more
Mm-hmm.
yards. It was a real ugly game, and then Westbrook, takes the punt back. That was actually
Mm-hmm.
Miracle at the Middle Lane. That was actually number two. People think it's number one. That's actually number two. Herm Edwards had the first Miracle at
Right,
the
right. That
Middle
was the
Lane
first
early.
one.
But yeah, and then Deshaun in 2010. I mean, that was a hell of
Damn.
a comeback
Man,
run.
I keep forgetting, bro. You in Philly, so you get to really embrace like the celebration, cause like mind you, I'm all the way in St. Louis, so that's kind of why I even started my YouTube channel because with me being in St. Louis and especially with the Rams being taken away from St. Louis, it's nowhere I can go to really, what I'm saying, celebrate, turn up, you know what I'm saying? So with me creating my a YouTube channel, it just allowed me to have a Bird family like you and others like Birdgang 31 and just an extended family, you know what I'm saying, that even though I'm here in St. Louis, I can still jump online and turn up and talk to guys like you and talk to everybody else, you know what I'm saying, and just have fun with it. Cause
All right.
sometimes when the Eagles lose or they do something crazy, I want to have somebody I can be like, bro, did you see that?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
what
The
the
event.
fuck? You know what I'm
But,
saying?
but let,
Turn
let me
up
ask you
because
let me ask you a question though. So what was the mood in St. Louis when the Rams left to go to LA?
man, it felt like it felt like they cheated us. Like everybody hated like the owner, and that was just on the strength that it didn't seem like they tried to stay. You know what I mean? Like mind you, it's fans here and everything. You know what I mean? And mind you, at the time the Rams they wasn't winning. You know what I mean? So of course, if a team isn't winning, you know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of people that's really gonna be, you know what I'm saying, supporting. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like that. Like team wasn't winning, so it wasn't really producing any revenue. One nobody really, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, like the Rams were so bad, like bro, nobody was really, you know what I'm saying, turned up about them. But you had people who, you know what I'm saying, were still loyal and was still, you know, turned up. But it really just changed the whole city. And so they started really ever since they left, they started trying to force the Kansas City Chiefs on us because Kansas City is literally like
Oh,
right here
okay.
next to us. So now they trying to make, you know what I'm saying? So like if you go to like local channels and try to watch football games, they gonna first show the Kansas City Chiefs games, and then whichever other closest game is in network. I don't know how it
Okay,
is.
so y'all don't embrace the Kansas City Chiefs. It's just like y'all just neutral now, or well, not you. You're an Eagles fan, but like
Yeah, yeah.
the other football
I'm
fans. So are they just like, well, we don't have a team, so we're just neutral?
Nah, most of them kind of still, you know, keep an eye on the Rams or they Chiefs. It's either they keep an eye on the Rams or they Chiefs fans. So
Okay,
it's kind of just like kind of whatever at this point. But like my pops, he's still real into the Rams and everything. But I don't know. It's just kind of I don't know. It's just kind of weird and kind of hard to still cheer for a team that's all the way in LA, you know what I mean? Like they not embracing they no fans here in St. Louis. They embracing them out there, you know what I mean? So I'm
right.
just like, whatever. But um damn. He said, what do you like Nelly being from St. Louis? I mean, shoot, he cool, bro. I mean, he ain't all that, and he must see him around St. Louis and just be like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like I got a crazy story about Nelly now that we talking about him. Me and my girl, we was in the car, we was arguing. We was at like an intersection, right? We was at an intersection. We just arguing or whatever, and Nelly pulls up on the side of us, and it was hella late at night. It's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Nelly pulls up on the side of us, and he's like, "You guys having an entanglement?" And me and my girl is, we looking. We like, "What?" It's Nelly, and then he just started laughing, and light turned green. He pulled off. We was looking like, they kind of stopped us for a minute, like. The fuck? But nah, man, it ain't.
Not to go on top. Okay, so tell me about this battle rapper called Hitman. What can you tell me about him?
Hitman.
Yeah,
Oh man, he cold. I feel like he went against
I saw him go against Cassidy a little.
Cassidy. Now I already know, people from Philly, everybody gonna be loyal to, what I'm saying, they city. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that biased mentality, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of have that neck for yourself. You're like, man, yeah, he hit him like that. But watching it, I wasn't trying to be biased towards my city. Like I'm literally like a fan, just like I'm literally just a fan of the sport first before what I'm saying anything else. I was a fan. I'm a fan of the rap battle. So when I'm watching and I'm listening, I just felt like Hitman was just. I mean, not Hitman, but Cassidy was just corny, bruh. And I think what led to me feeling like everything that he was saying was corny was the simple fact that like I watched the face off,
hmm
and the face off, bro. Like, mind you, I'm from St. Louis too, so like I'm watching this face off, and I can just tell like Cassidy was just corny, but he was just lying. Like it was just he didn't look like a stand up guy at all. He looked like he was just just corny. So then going into the battle, I was kind of already pushed on Hitman because I'm from St. Louis. But overall though, Cassidy he do got some bars. I'm not saying that he was completely whack. Now he's still a vet in the game and he's still cold. But
yeah,
for the most part,
yeah.
I
It
think
got a
Hitman
little
got him.
testy. I mean, I watched it. It got a little testy there somewhere towards the end.
Hell yeah, it got testy. I was looking like, yo, like, let's do the clown, bro. It just felt so clownish. Like, I was like, yo, I don't know. What you think about it though?
I mean, like I said, I just happened to come across it. Like maybe it was just about 3-4 months ago.
Uh,
I watched their little face off, and they're sitting across from each other, and they're going back and forth. Cassidy saying, "Well, I heard you're not this, you're not that," and then the hitman guy
mhm.
started getting all amped up, and it got a little crazy. But
Yeah, man, that was wild, bro. But
all right,
let's jump right back
all
into
right,
it,
yeah, let's
sure.
get on. Yeah,
But
let's get. Yeah, we don't want to bore the audience. Let's get back to football.
right. But sure, no, sure. I love music, bro. I can talk that a lot, bro. I listen to everybody. But back to the NFC East, man. Sure. So, what you think about? I think the Giants playing the Broncos. Do you see them winning that game?
Um, well, it's like I said, going into my continued, hatred as a football team towards the Giants.
Mm,
I'm going to say this now. You being an Eagles fan, you know what happened in 2011 with us when
mm-hmm.
was a Vince Young when he dared to quote us as the dream team. I swear, I see the Giants as dream team number two. I do. And
Damn,
they went out and
damn, you
signed
hit it
all of
right on
these
the
people.
nose. That's a perfect comparison.
I mean,
That's a
feel me? I
perfect
mean,
comparison.
they went out and signed all of, Kenny Galladay, John Ross, and, I already mentioned
Mm-hmm.
Dory Jackson and bringing in all these guys. I'm telling you, I've seen it all too clear before. I mean, this is the same setup. And then you got their coach, Joe Judge, who thinks he's the next coming of Bill Belichick. I mean, with these
Yeah,
ridiculous rules, I mean, talking to these grown men like they're
yeah.
teenagers. I mean, it's like,
Man, I
dude,
thought it was crazy when I saw people was retiring after you know what I'm saying. He didn't put them through, you know, all that. I was looking like, wow, you got two. I think it was like one or two people ended up retiring after he made them run like the field, like I think doing suicides or something like that. But I thought
yeah,
that
he
was
was. I mean,
wild.
he was making coaches do it. It's like, I mean, come on, guy.
Huh?
I
I
know
ain't
you
hear
want to
that.
make a name for yourself, but come on, there's a line that's drawn. I mean, come on,
Man,
that
stop
that's not
it.
going to fly.
I
That's
ain't I
not going to
ain't
fly.
read
I
that
mean,
deep into it. I ain't read that deep into it. I ain't know he was doing all that. See,
and
that's what I
Saquon.
mean. Like they a joke, man. They a joke. I don't see them winning against the Broncos, but I think well, it all depends if they playing at home or not. You know what I'm saying? They might be juiced up. Saquon Barkley, you
Now the
know what I'm saying,
Broncos
coming back.
now they got a pretty nasty defense themselves.
Right, and Von Miller coming back too. I heard.
Yeah, Von Miller and their secondary is loaded. I mean, our old
Hmm.
friend Ronald Darby. They got Patrick Surtain. They picked up Kyle Fuller, which I wish the Eagles would have done when the Bears.
Right.
Well, I still can't believe the Bears cut him, but that
Yeah.
defense is pretty nasty. Now, Teddy Bridgewater, he's not going to wow you. I mean,
Yeah, but I
but
knew he was
he
gonna
doesn't
win
make
that
the big
starting
mistakes.
position though for sure. Like he, I watched him play a few times when he was in Carolina. I watched a few games and dude wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like he know how to make plays. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
he'll make the
if
plays when they're there to make, but he won't kill you with the untimely interception or anything like that. He plays not to lose. I mean, so I mean that's not for a team like that. Now that wouldn't exactly fly here. I mean, we need a guy that's going to
mm,
be the guy, but for that
yeah.
defense and the way their team is set up, I think he's perfect for what they're doing
Mm.
out there in Denver.
Now who the Washington Redskins play? Fuck,
Who does the football team plays?
I keep saying the Redskins.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
uh.
trust it. That's a hard habit to get out of. But
Man, for real. I swear, I swear, Washington fans, I don't be doing that on purpose. I don't know if they view that as disrespectful or what, but shoot, you can't help it when you know what I'm saying, for so long. But shoot, this Atlanta game, bro. I'm
yeah,
turned
let's
up
get
about it,
into it.
bro. I'm turned up about it. What's first of all, where your confidence meter at on a scale of 1 to 10 going into this game?
Okay, my confidence meter, from 1 to 10, I mean, I'm going to put it, at a 5, and it's because of the
Mm,
way I see this football game, and I've said this before. I even said it to Birdgang that this is, a 50-50 sort of game. Like I
mm,
said, very similar in some ways. Brand new, both rookie head coaches. A lot of change in the deal. I believe the Atlanta Falcons are going to be now playing a 3-4 defense. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of moving parts. But so what we have to do then is we dig into the let's compare the quarterbacks.
Right, right.
Right now, I would say I got to go Matt Ryan over Jalen
Mm,
Hurts because Matt Ryan has done it. He's older. I mean, he's not the
right.
Matt Ryan of older, but he's done it. He's been on the biggest stage. He's been an MVP in this league.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just quarterback intangibles. Just for now, it goes to the Falcons. And I've
Mm,
actually looked at them. I've watched some film and got all the information I can gather.
mm-hmm.
Um, I'm going to talk about some of the guys on offense. Now we know Calvin Ridley. He's poised to be that number one guy.
He
You know,
is that number one guy.
you know, um,
He is that
but
number one guy with Julio Jones being out.
exactly. But the guy, and I've seen some. And listen, all respect to my other fellow content creators. A lot of people are sleeping on Russell Gage. Now,
Mm,
this kid has done nothing. He was a 6th round pick back in 2018, but he's done
mm-hmm.
nothing but get better. Each year. Now, Atlanta, they've been so bad. You don't really get to see the good and everything.
Right, right.
But we talked about our secondary. Berg, I seen your question, Berg. We're going to rank the division at the end. But like I said, with our secondary not being as strong as some of our other fan base might think it is,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a guy you want to sleep on. He's been very reliable. Matt
Hell
Ryan
yeah.
trusts him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and let me give you another name. And this guy seems like he's been around for a long time. Cordell Patterson. Now, when you think of Cordell Patterson, you think of
Mm.
just special teams.
Yeah.
But with that size, I could see Atlanta saying, what, we would love to get him matched up on a smaller
Yeah.
Vontae Maddox in the slot. These are
See,
all just
see,
things that I'm just throwing out there. I'm not trying to
yeah.
down our guys. Like I
Yeah.
said, I'm a realist.
Yeah, yeah. For sure.
And
For
and
sure.
one more thing, and I'm gonna get your thoughts on the offense. Now we all talk about Kyle Pitts. Let's not
Mm-hmm.
forget about Hayden Hurst. He's a
Right.
terrific tight end that they traded for from Baltimore. Or
Yeah.
did they trade for him or they just signed him?
I think
He's a
they
pretty good tight end. I mean, he would be in that
yeah.
like just below second tier, maybe even second tier tight ends in the league. And
Mm-hmm.
now and then I just mentioned Kyle Pitts. I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
he's still still coming into who he is, with this being, his first game, as far as, how I feel about the offense. I feel like, they always seem like that team that could always put up a lot of points depending on the day, you know what I'm saying, depending on the game, depending on the scheme, you know what I'm saying. But uh I don't know what to expect from them. They have, saying Kyle Pitts, and I honestly don't think he's gonna make that much of an impact just on the strength that they don't know necessarily how we gonna be coming at them. And with the wide receivers that they have, they still have, to me, they only have one proven wide receiver, which is the wide receiver that you brought up, Calvin Ridley. And with him being proven and everybody else having to prove themselves, I don't feel like they gonna really match up well against our cornerbacks, considering we have Darius Slay and Nelson playing, and then mind you, like I said, they don't know how we're going to be covering, and us mixing up different packages, and supposedly going to be blitzing a lot more than we have before. If we can get home, a lot of times I don't feel like this offense is going to be putting up a lot of points, especially with a I think on their offensive line, I think one of their guys is a backup. I think it's gonna be his first start. And so with them having a guy that's gonna be matched up against Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave for his first game with some hungry guys like that that's out to prove something, that's not gonna match up well. That means pressure is gonna be all up in Matt Ryan face, and to have pressure straight up the middle, That's the best type of pressure. Get a quarterback that doesn't like to move to kind of move out the pocket a little bit. Boom, he running right into either Josh Sweat or Brandon Graham, who is what coming off a Pro Bowl season. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy that's consistent as far as when it comes to racking up sacks, six, seven sacks a year. In the past 5 seasons, he been ranked in the top 16 as far as edge rushers. So this is a guy, Brandon Graham coming into a season where he is just voted captain, gonna be, what I'm saying, coming off the edge, what I'm saying, coming hard at these guys. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the Atlanta Falcons, I know we don't have a good record, when it comes to, playing them when they is in Atlanta, but man, I gotta say, I don't as much power as they have, they don't have the offensive line to protect it. That's what
Right.
I feel like. And they guys, and they still got unproven guys. They still got unproven guys. So
I agree with most of that. And okay, Birdgang, how big of an impact that Fitz is going to have. I think he's going
mhm.
to be in the game. I mean, he's going to to what level. I'm not quite sure. But like I said, I'm just looking at it from I know the physical attributes and everything, and Bird Gang. I know me and you we talked about the play where when he first caught the ball. I mean, he danced around for a good 6-7 steps before he took off. But you could see the ability. I
Yeah.
really think this could be a game where Kyle Pitts could be like a high volume target. For Matt Ryan. Now,
Mm.
now, D, I definitely hear your point, about the offensive line, but one thing I want to say is, a lot of people said the same exact thing about Dallas's offensive line when they were
Mm.
missing their top guys and they were plugging in guys. Now, I'm not saying that that offensive line is going to come in and hold serve against the Eagles' defensive line, but
Mhm.
it's just one of those funny
I'm
things
just
about
saying,
football.
matched up against Fletcher Cox, a backup.
Exactly,
No.
and it makes so much sense that Fletcher's going to eat. But the funny thing about football is sometimes things happen that we don't
Yeah,
expect, and
man.
I hope it's what we envision. Now, our defensive
Okay.
line definitely eat all day long, but
Okay. So.
even a novice coach, if he sees
Mm,
that his offensive line is struggling, he's got to adapt some way. He's not going to just
yeah.
allow Matt Ryan to keep dropping back if the Eagles' defense continues to just tease off on him.
Hmm.
So, but like I said, no, you make excellent points, and I agree with most of it. But like I said,
And
there is somewhat of an unknown,
right,
and
right.
we don't know how they're going to come at us because
That's
Atlanta
true.
was similar to us in the preseason. They didn't really play a lot of people. They really didn't
That's
tip their hand.
true.
So we talk about they don't know how we're coming. We don't exactly know how they're coming at us. So
Man,
I'm just saying, just
man.
putting that out there.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Damn. I forgot all about that too, because they got a rookie head coach too coming into this game. So with that being said, we don't know how Kyle Pitts gonna be moved around. But one thing for sure, it don't matter what Kyle Pitts said, because I know Alex Singleton gonna be right there wherever the ball is. So if he is there, hopefully Alex
Yeah,
Singleton
Alex
can.
Singleton is hungry. I mean, he waited a
Man,
long time to get his shot in the NFL. He's hungry.
exactly,
I
man.
mean, it took
This
it
is a
took. He's like, listen, I had to work my tail off to get to the NFL. I'm not going back
man.
to the Canadian Football
Man,
League. I'm staying.
and
I'm going to
and that's
do
how
what
he play,
I got to
man.
do.
It's truly inspiring, and as Eagles fans, that's the type of attitude that we want. You know what I mean? Like, if as far as me being an Eagles fan, one thing that I didn't care. Maybe we might not have the talent, but as long as I seen my guys out there fighting, bro, that's all I cared about. If they out there fighting and we played a good ass game, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Right.
cool. So Alex Singleton, he's definitely a player that embodies the whole Philly mentality. With me, being from St. Louis, like I told you before, and growing up, I looked at a lot of Brian Dawkins. You know what I'm saying? Brian Dawkins was really that guy that gave me that made me feel like what it was supposed to be like to be an Eagles fan. Mind you, I'm all the way in St. Louis, so that shit, I felt that. You know what I'm saying? When I heard Brian Dawkins speak, when I heard about, just hear him talking that in that passion. bruh, that passion that's so legit, you know what I'm saying, for the Eagles. Like I literally watched the video of uh uh Tito Spike speaking on Brian Dawkins, and dude say he wanted to take somebody's soul out, and
Yeah.
he
Weapon
didn't.
X. Why we call
He
him
say he
locally.
hit a guy so hard. He said he looked over to Brian Dawkins, cleaned the guy up, and he said Brian Dawkins looked up and he said Hallelujah. I said damn.
Oh yeah, I mean
I
he's a
said
man of
damn.
God, but on that football field, I mean, yeah,
Man, he
in his
said he
words, he
smacked
goes up
dude
and
so hard.
acts
He
a fool
smacked
on that
dude
field.
so hard.
That is my
Hallelujah.
favorite
I
Eagle.
said,
Brian Dawkins is my favorite Eagle of all time. I mean,
man, I
all
said,
time.
damn. I said, damn. He said, damn, man, I'm gonna send you the clip, bro. It was one of them. It was, yo, what's good, big play Slay? What's Gucci, man?
Big play. What's going on, little brother?
Man,
All right, but speaking of
man.
defense, let's talk about Atlanta's defense. What are your thoughts on their defense?
I mean, really, I don't really know too much about their defense, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because for just off rip, a person can be like, "Oh, that's a good thing," you know what I'm saying? But they could have a whole lot of sleepers. Of course, the typical names. You know what I mean? But for the most part, they're a defense that ultimately continues to give up a lot of points. So I don't know how good the Atlanta Falcons can be, considering the fact they just lost. They dealing with a new coach and a new system. I'm not sure how they gonna be prepared, but at the same time, I'm kind of looking at our offense for the most part. When I look at, since I don't know too much about their
Right.
defense, and I know everything starts up front, and they only got one guy up front. They got a few guys that can. They got uh uh. I can't remember his name, but he played over the tackle position, and
Grady
it's
Jarrett.
yeah, really one guy, you know what I mean, that's really, what I'm saying, applying that pressure. And I don't feel like if they're not getting no pressure up front, that's where it starts at. And for us to have the offense that we have, you know, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna get into, I'm I know for a fact, they not ready for us anyway.
Yeah, I mean Atlanta's defense. I mean, very small but very fast. And I just
Mm,
spoke on Grady Jarrett. He is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated defensive tackles in the league. Now he has been dealing with some. I don't even know if he's going to play on Sunday. I have to look at the final injury report, but definitely, like I said, one of the most underrated defensive tackles in the league. Dante
mm,
Fowler Jr. He was a really high. I think he was a third overall pick. Now he hasn't quite lived up to a third overall pick, status.
mm,
I mean, he had his best year was in Saint. I was not St. Louis with the Rams. I think in
mm,
2019, and then last year he had somewhat of a down year, but everything was bad last year with that defense.
yeah,
Deion Jones, the linebacker, boy, he could fly from side to side.
yeah,
The cornerbacks, AJ Terrell, he's going into his second year.
mm,
And they picked up the corner from Washington? What's his name? Fabian Moreau. I mean, he actually had a pick on Carson Wentz. I think he had 2 picks last year on
now,
Carson Wentz in the first Washington game. So, their defense, the way I see it, this offense, before when we get to the final prediction,
mm,
this it's like you said, controlling the lines of scrimmage on both sides.
yeah,
That's the key in this game. I mean, you got to pound these guys. I mean, not going
yeah,
side to side. That's not going to work against the defense.
yeah, because
I'm
they
talking about going
fast.
straight
Like you
forward and
said, they
pound.
fast. Like you said, they're fast. So that side to side, that screen, you gotta go. You know what I mean? We gonna need some big plays. So that made me want to transition over into, what I'm saying, our offense, going into this game, you know, up front, I'm confident. I know for a fact, watching first of all, watching Jordan Mailata. over there on left tackle. You know what I'm saying? This big 6'8",
Mm-hmm.
three hundred
Yes,
eighty
he is. I
something
mean,
pounds. You know what I'm saying?
he's a
From
mountain of a
from
man.
yes, man, running people over like goodness gracious. We got him solid over there, and finally, this is the most healthiest I've seen our offensive line come into the season for a long time. Like honestly, it's underrated how much that matters. Like, as confident as we always still be as Eagles fans, despite the injuries, it matters. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to play,
Right.
so to go into this game with our offensive line, Jordan Mailata over there left tackle, Brandon Brooks coming in healthy. You got Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey, man. That's an all-star offensive line. That's an
Yeah.
offensive line that for a long time we all wanted to see put together. Last year we had the most combinations out of any other team in the NFL, which was a recipe for disaster. Like I don't understand how people can really expect greatness when you don't have an offensive line. So going into this game, as far as our offense starting up front, we are solid. You know what I'm saying? And with a solid offensive line and guys that can move the opposing defender and dominate their box, that creates more room for Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is a playmaker. I mentioned this in one of my videos that I uploaded. This guy is a dominant playmaker when the ball is in his hands. Now he is shifty and he can make moves. Now he been having a lot of trouble in training camp with catching the ball, but for the most part, when the ball is in his hands, he is a playmaker. With our offensive line being up front, I'm confident he's gonna be dominating inside the trenches. You know what I mean? So
And I'm absolutely with you. And you mentioned Miles Sanders. I mean, this is a guy where and we're going to talk about another guy. Miles Sanders. How you just talked about the talent. We need that
mm,
breakout year from him. And I'm going to mention Dallas Goddard. That's the other guy
yes,
that we're
yes,
looking for that now. There's been some things this week reported, about if there was supposed to have been a contract done, with Dallas
mm,
Goddard, but he made some sort of damning comments earlier this week, saying that he and his agent thought that a deal would be done, but the team decided to go in another direction. I don't
yeah. I
know
heard
what he
about
meant
that.
by that, and then it coincides with the other report that everything is fine and hunky dory with the Eagles and Zach
Mm,
Ertz. So
mm,
and then you hear the story
yeah,
about there was possible trade talk with the
mm,
Vikings for Goddard. So,
yeah.
but for right now,
See,
he's here. I mean, it appears he's going to be here and suiting up for
yeah,
Atlanta. That's another guy, who we seen the flashes, just like Miles Sanders. And I said this in
yeah.
another video. I think it was a thing of conditioning with Miles Sanders. I mean, and the
Mm-hmm,
thing I keep going back to is I think it was the Ravens game where he broke the
mm-hmm.
long run, but he ran out of gas around the
Man,
15, 10
I
yard
hate
line.
when he get caught from behind. I don't feel like he should get caught from behind,
And right
man.
that, and it looked to me like it was conditioning. It was the same thing with Jalen Rager last year. Even
Yeah,
on his
man,
breakout
conditioning.
plays when he did the punt return against Green Bay, he
Mm-hmm.
didn't look that fast running back. I mean, and then
Man,
come to find out that he was 7, 8 pounds overweight than when he
right,
was
right,
supposedly.
right.
So it takes
Coming
me back
into
to
left, yeah,
Miles Sanders. The ability is there, but can you put it all together? Now he talked not this past training camp, but the year before how he wanted to come in and he wanted to break all of these records and do all of this stuff, and then you know nothing happened. He ended up getting hurt. He had a couple flash plays, but we need to see that consistently. That's what I'm looking for out of him. And like I say, I mentioned Dallas Goddard.
yeah. Mm,
This has to be the year. I mean, if not now, then when? I don't know how it's going to play out, but these are definitely two guys that if we're going to do anything, they need to factor in
mm.
big, and it has to start this Sunday against the Falcons.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. I agree with you 100%. And just like we were just talking about, with Dallas Goddard. Now, with the offensive line coming in healthy, all everything is playing in Jalen Hurts' favor. He going into this game with a solid offensive line. He's coming in the game with two tight ends, not one, but two reliable tight ends. These are also guys that can also applies that pressure up front. So with them being also that just strengthens our offensive line. Now with Dallas Goddard and Zach Ertz, those are two safety nets. Now, Dallas Goddard is typically the better blocker, so you got a sure-handed guy and Zach Ertz, who kind of probably by default would be that wide receiver that ends up catching the ball. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know what I'm saying, I don't know how they gonna distribute, you know what I'm saying, who's gonna get the ball, you know what I'm saying, here and there. But regardless of the fact, we got two reliable guys. And mind you, that's all playing into Jalen Hurts' favor. So mind you, these are all protection pieces. A
Exactly.
solid a solid offensive line and two solid tight ends. Now with the protection up front to for his safety, if all else fails, he has his legs to rely on. These are all safety nets for Jalen Hurts going into this game. You know what I'm saying? That's ultimately going to produce big plays because when it all boils down, when with everything starting up front, somebody's going to be open. Coming into this game, I'm confident in our offense because of the security blanket that we have with Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goddard up front, and with the healthy offensive line, and with the healthy Jordan Mailata of mammoth of a beast that nobody has seen ever in the NFL. Him establishing himself up front with those security blankets, and not to mention those are not even including the weapons. Those are just his protection. Now, as far as his weapons, now what he can use, you have a dominant wide receiver in Devontae Smith. I don't care about the fact that he didn't have a lot of reps within the preseason game. Because when he did get in the game and when he did in the preseason, one thing that he does not have to work on because it's so natural is his footwork. His footwork was something that was so natural where it's just like riding a bicycle for him. Coming off that line of scrimmage, he is a magician, getting space within the first 2 or 3 steps. This guy is completely amazing. So with the guys up front and the protection, and with a dominant wide receiver outside, with this being a timing based offense, if they play man, Devontae Smith is built for man. He is built to get open within 3 to 4 steps of the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? So with him having that weapon on the outside, and not to mention he's going to demand extra coverage. Devontae Smith, when he start dominating and the defense starts having to adjust, and with that leaving, oh snap, Jalen Rager out there, the speed guy, who we need to make sure that we paying attention to him and making sure that he is being consistent with his effort. If he is being consistent, one thing for sure that we all cannot deny is the fact that he is a playmaker as well. You know what I mean? His vertical is
Absolutely.
real. He had one of the highest verticals in his when they in the combine, you know what I mean? And that showed up with his one hand catches all throughout training camp. So we need that to be even more consistent. As far as our weapons too, not to mention the sleeper Quez Watkins, we don't know how they're gonna be playing with him. These are weapons that we haven't seen the Eagles have so like so much of in so long. We haven't seen this amount of weapons since Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Macklin back in those days. And
Absolutely.
that got all demolished. Ain't no telling. I imagine to this day what that would have been like to keep them, because I remember when the guys kept getting let go, I kept waking up to my phone like, what the fuck is happening? Like, is they really trying to make us terrible? Like, that's how I felt. Like, it felt like they was taking literally our best players. Like, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke. That's how
Yeah,
crazy
pretty
it was
much. Yeah,
to
and we pretty much traded Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Macklin for Riley Cooper and Jordan Matthews. That's pretty much
man.
what Chip Kelly did. Yeah, it was horrible, man. I'm right there
It
with you.
was terrible, God. And that's another thing that goes into great teams. It's the attitude. It's the mindset that matters. I don't have nothing against the guys that came in to replace guys like Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Macklin and them type of guys too. But those guys held a type of mentality that matters if you're going to be great. A mentality that only great people have. You know what I mean? So going into this game, we have though it feels like we have guys with that dog mentality that we once had before, and guys like Jeremy Macklin, Deshaun Jackson, and guys that just and Shady, guys that just wanted to make plays. You know what I mean? So going into this game and with a solid leader. And that's why I said the mentality matters when it comes to, players trying to be great. You got Jalen Hurts in there with the mentality that is contagious, bruh. Like, I don't even know the guy, but I'm watching the video like, damn, I would run through a brick wall for this guy. This
Exactly.
is the type of attitude that I always wanted to see. This is the feeling that he gave me, is a feeling that I always wanted to feel when I watched Carson Wentz press conference that I never could get. And as a
Exactly.
fan, as a fan, I would always kind of just dismiss it because he just wasn't that guy to, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, he showed me he can play, whatever. But when it came down and I had to look at it for what it was, Jalen Hurts just makes a mug feel better. You know what I mean? He is a natural
Exactly.
born leader.
And it's really important. It is so important for this franchise that he is that next guy. Sitting here right,
Yes.
believe. We want to buy. We are buying into it. We want to believe this is the guy. But I don't want to think. What's going to happen if he's not. Like I said. I've said this
Right,
before.
man.
We were not supposed to be in this position anytime soon. We supposedly had our guy. Now,
Right, right.
like I'm not going to go too much into that, but the Eagles had some hand in that because instead of getting that other kid some help, they went out and got this guy. Now, this guy, he didn't ask to be drafted here,
Hmm.
but it happened and it hurt
Yeah.
Carson's feelings and
Man,
everything
but
went to
see,
crap,
but
and
see,
now we're
you
in this
you
position of
said the
trying to
one
find
thing, what
guys.
that hurt Carson Wentz feelings. When it come to my team in the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't want no guy who feelings getting hurt like that, man. Like we all know, he didn't have that beast mentality. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that great mentality. And at the end of the day, what Howie Roseman say? He said we went to 4 playoff games and we
Yep,
needed our backup in
every single
every
one of them.
one of them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when you have to look at it, when and face facts, he just wasn't that leader. And if we truly is a fan base that wants that true leader, that true beast, it's Jalen Hurts. He's been demonstrating it the whole time. Now, when you say, you don't want to think about, what would happen if he don't. I don't see him not being that guy because they bought in so much, bro. It's undeniable. They like
Well,
the
it's because,
guys.
but let me say, is it because you hear all the talk about, Deshaun Jackson? I mean, I'm not Deshaun Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and wanting to trade for. First, it was Russell Wilson, and then it went heavy onto Deshaun Watson. Now, I never really bought into the Deshaun Watson stuff. Like I said, I respect Deshaun Watson's talent. I mean, hell of a
Hmm.
football player. And
See,
before all of the, the legal stuff started coming out, I mean, it's like, yeah, okay, but I mean, who would franchise in their right mind will go near that situation with all of that
right,
stuff hanging on? But
right, right.
but like I said, I do believe they want Jalen Hurts to succeed. Howie Roseman, he didn't make those comments, after he drafted Jalen Hurts about not wanting to pass up on the next Russell
Hmm.
Wilson. I mean, so they knew exactly what they were doing.
Right,
And
right.
and like I said, I didn't agree. I mean, I hated the pick at the time. I didn't understand
Man,
it, and they
I
did it.
didn't, I didn't, I wasn't a fan of the pick either. You know what I'm saying? But I knew we got a playmaker. You know what I mean? When I looked at the guy pedigree, I couldn't deny that we was getting a guy with a great attitude that can be built into something probably special. It was I think I was more so upset at the fact that he wasn't something that can contribute to the team in that moment in time. But the fact that he was a great player, that wasn't the question. Now coming into this game, I feel like he gonna be good. I feel I almost picked him on my fantasy team, but I already got Devontae Smith on my team, so I figured if I got Devontae Smith, then I'm pretty good with
Yeah,
that.
I mean, but like I said, I'm definitely there with you. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just stressing that we really do need him to be the guy. I mean, because you think, we potentially have three. Oh, and some other news. Did you hear that Carson actually is going to start the first game of the year? They were
Oh
saying
wow.
they didn't even know that he was going. Now he supposedly is going to start for the Colts. So the dream
Mm,
of getting that first round pick, well, for now is intact. So
right,
now you
right.
figure that we'll have 3 first round picks. I mean, wouldn't you
Hmm.
rather take those picks and build the rest of the team up instead of trading
Hell
for a
yeah.
quarterback or moving up?
I'm
So I mean,
hell
so many
yeah.
different reasons, but Hurts, he proves he's the guy. Proves he is
Hmm.
our guy. I mean, just imagine how we could build this team with those picks, man.
Man, hell yeah. So like overall, I'm feeling like if Jalen Hurts that guy, the ceiling is whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of makes me want to ask you like, what do you consider a successful season for Jalen Hurts? I'm
Great
kind of getting
question.
off topic. I know we
Great,
was talking
great
about the
question.
Atlanta game,
Great question. You
but
know why? Because I've been asking myself that. What do the
mm,
Eagles see as a okay? For instance, okay, let's say Jalen Hurts. Say if he throws 27 touchdown passes, 12 interceptions, and runs for 6 touchdowns. What constitutes, to them, this is our guy? Then that's a really good question you brought up. I mean, so because we don't know what they think. Okay, say he
mm-hmm,
does all of that and they miss the playoffs. Say he has
mm,
a more pedestrian season. Say he throws 21 touchdown passes, 13 interceptions, and runs for 7 touchdowns, and they make the playoffs. So like
mm.
we don't know because we're not in Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie's head. So what do they need to see?
I think
I mean,
I
how
think
do you
I
put a
think
number on it?
See, that's the thing. That's the tough part about evaluating a successful season for Jalen Hurts. I think for the most part, one of the biggest questions coming into the season was his completion percentage. So one thing that I know for sure has to be up into a respectable range. That they say the average completion percentage, I believe, is like 65% or something like that. But if his completion percentage goes up into at least average range, first that has to be established that he can complete passes on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? I would like him to be closer towards that 70% range, considering the fact that we're gonna be a timing based offense. You know what I mean? So a lot of quick 3-step drops. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we getting that much, but I think for the most part, with the high completion percentage, and as long as he not in double digits as far as throwing interceptions, now that plus the fact now how far the team go. If if we number one, which I feel like, which uh Birdgang had asked us about, our rankings. I feel
Yeah,
like if
we'll
he
get to
can
that.
get us number one in the NFC East, then I feel like ultimately that matters because then we're in the playoffs. And one thing for sure, I know about Philly and I know about my team, our team. Philly is going to fight. We're not
Ooh.
going out without a fight. So, with that being said, if we get that number one spot in the NFC East and we be able to host a playoff game with the momentum that we're going to have and Jalen Hurts leading these guys, there's no way we losing that home game. There's no way.
I
There's no
agree.
way. So so yeah, Jalen Hurts he gonna be well well prepared. A lot of times, people they've been saying, oh, he ain't been getting a lot of work in these preseason games or whatever the case may be. Well, we just seen Dak Prescott ain't getting no work in, and he looked fabulous.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah, he was on.
so so we gonna skip that and we can just go back to Jalen Hurts he was thrown into the fire the first time, last year against the Saints. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Basically, my point is this is not a guy that's new to being thrown into fiery situations. He was literally thrown into that game and actually won. This time he is going into a game that he is, well prepared for, more established with the wide receivers, took every rep in training camp. And as I mentioned in my video before, dominate was 9 times was the most dominant quarterback when on the field in these joint practices. So I'm not worried about him being new and not having no experience in the preseason games, because like I said before, he is no stranger to being thrown into the fire. I have Jalen Hurts basically being probably the number two best quarterback, in our conference, probably under, Dak Prescott, seeing that he hasn't lost a step, at first I was gonna have Jalen Hurts being number one because for one, Daniel Jones, we still question about him. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we already know his pedigree, and Dak
Jones.
Prescott, he was coming off an injury, so I was kind of, saying, banking on the fact that it's gonna take him a little minute. But like I say, he ain't lost a step. So you can't a person can't argue the fact that it's not too crazy to think Jalen Hurts could possibly be, arguably the best quarterback in the division. Mind you, people they are not going to know how to game plan for Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? And so with now, mind you, Dak Prescott might be getting on them yards, but wins still matter. So that's why I say when it comes to being the best quarterback, it has a good chance in being Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts goes out Sunday and balls out, 300 plus touchdowns. I mean 300 plus yards, two touchdowns, and some rushing yards. You know what I mean? With a win, I take that any day over
Absolutely. I mean, it'd
403
be a damn
yards
good way to
and
start. It would be a
three
damn good way to
touchdowns.
start.
You know what I mean? Like I take that any day. So Jalen Hurts is definitely a player that I'm behind. I'm actually thinking about getting a jersey, but I don't want to jinx him.
I mean, no, I'm right there with you, man. Like I said, I mean, he doesn't seem like he wants to be handed anything. He always says, "Look, the rent is due every single day.
For
I'm willing to
real.
pay it." The what did he say? Um, the uh, the hay isn't in the barn. Some crazy shit like
Oh
that.
yeah, he say
But
that was
Nick
Coach Nick
Sirianni actually,
Sirianni, yeah. Nick Sirianni said
but
the
like I
hay ain't in
said,
the barn just
and
yet.
he's had success, on every level he's been, at Alabama, at
Yes, man, that matters, and that goes back to what we talked about when it comes to the mentality. The mentality matters for the person that leads the team. You know what I mean? Like to have a leader like Jalen Hurts, that matters, bro. And I just know for a fact, like the feeling that he get, like you can't say there's no better leader in the NFC East besides Dak Prescott. Come on now,
yeah,
and Jalen Hurts ain't even took one start on the field yet this year, and that's already been established. You know what I mean? Like that says something about a guy's pedigree. Now with Jalen Hurts being the leader on the squad, we got Devontae Smith being the leader in the wide receiver room.
right.
With Devontae Smith being the leader inside that wide receiver room, that's elevating the play. For these other wide receivers like Jalen Rager, who we just heard him in a press conference say, "Hey, he a different guy." You know what I'm saying? Talking about how we gonna see, and I made a video uh probably like almost about a month ago talking about my top 10 Eagles going into the season, and very early on, I listed Jalen Rager as one of my top 10, basically number 10 important Eagle going into the season because I expect big things from him. The offense is something that is gonna be revolved around him. So going into Atlanta, if you got Rager being a complimentary piece like he's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, to Devontae Smith, who is leading that wide receiver room and taking the mentality that it takes to be great to new heights. And mind you, Jalen Rager is still the youngest guy in the wide receiver room. He is 22 years old. So with him being still the youngest guy in the room and still having so much room to grow at that, mind you, his pops was in the NFL too. So he know, you know what I'm saying? All that goes into the character of a guy. That's my whole point. And so, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he has that same, mentality and that drive, you know what I'm saying, that he talked about in these press conferences. And we see that on the field because, like I say, Devontae Smith is one player that is probably the most polished out of all the wide receivers that we have, and he's definitely a guy that leads by example. I know you probably see his press conference. He don't say much. He's a guy that shows up by example. I forget how many touchdowns he had in his college career. I think it was like 49, 40, like 40 some, like 40 plus touchdowns. That's fucking ridiculous. That's
Well,
ridiculous, yo.
Jalen Rager, I mean, he's fighting the offset of what Justin Jefferson did last year. So
Right, right.
he hears the media, he hears the fans, and all the comparisons. Now, Jalen Rager, like I said, wasn't in the best physical shape last year. And Jalen Rager was one of those guys who tweeted a lot, and said a lot of
Yeah.
things. I mean, that,
Young. See
and
that
that's
that's
the thing with young players. I mean, like I said, it's better to be seen than heard.
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
like I said, he came in a mini camp this year. By all accounts, he looked really good. But when he got to training camp, he had the unfortunate situation. Something happened to a best friend
Hmm.
of his who lost his life or whatever, and had an injury. But he seemed to he came out of it slowly. Now we heard about all
Um,
the great
and you notice that
play.
was right after Nick Sirianni chewed him out. They say he went on the field and got in his ass, and after that he was balling out. That's when he ended up making a one-handed catch the next practice. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying, just being that balling, and we seen low key seen some flashes of him in these preseason games when he get the ball in his hands for him to be able to get them yaks, yards after the catch. So I'm expecting big things from Jalen Rager. That's why I'm confident in this offensive line because, like we already said, the offensive line up front is built. You know what I'm saying? Built like the wall of China. Goddamn me. You know what I'm saying? They standing up tall. They standing strong. And then you add the two tight ends for Jalen Hurst. Those are two complementary safety nets. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady. You know what I'm
Don't
saying?
forget about Quez Watkins too.
Right, and Quez Watkins, but I was starting up front and working my way out. But yeah, man, and so the move from the line and to have Miles Sanders back there to dominate the run game, that's just gonna open the door for the play action, and that's perfect for a guy like you just mentioned, Quez Watkins. You know what I mean? We are a play action or a RPO screen. You know what I mean? Because all less, predicated on that run being enforced and trying to, suck them linebackers in. So with Quez Watkins having the speed that he has, and matter of fact, I think he's supposedly the fastest player on the team. Putting the ball in his hands only could mean big plays, because he's a shifty guy. It seems like them screens is his go-to plays because we seen him with a screen back versus the Cardinals game, which is a game that I seen Jalen Hurts. That was probably the best game I seen out of Jalen Hurts. I know he had one the week before against New Orleans, but the Arizona game, in my opinion, was an even better game because it showed me the poise and and the attitude, what I'm saying, that it took. It was kind of like that same poise that I saw, Tom Brady have, when he took his team down the field. It was just that cool, calm, and collectiveness. And for the most part, after that game, that wasn't no fluke. That's just his character. You know what I mean? That's just how he carry himself, whether it's on the field or off the field, in the press conference, off the press conference. And that's the type of attitude that I like. Now I know, coming into this game, he might be, a little jittery, excited. It is the first game, you know what I mean? So we just don't want to see him press. As long as he stay cool and calm and collective, he gonna dice them up. He gonna dice them up, and yeah, Quez Watkins gonna be a big factor. I keep on forgetting about dude, but if he can get downfield and against the single high safety, it's gonna be a wrap, man. It's gonna be a wrap.
Yeah,
Especially like I said, you brought up Calvin Ridley on the other team. That's who Quez Watkins been working out with on in the off season. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
absolutely,
So
yes,
so he getting shifty, you know what I'm saying, at the line of scrimmage, talked about one of the best route runners in the game. Matter of fact, I just watched Darius Slay in this press conference talk about how he believed Calvin Ridley one of the top top four, top three route runners in the game. You know what I mean? So that's that's good because we got him teaching teaching Quez Watkins, but it's something for us to have to worry about. But I think our defense is gonna be prepared, man. And just understand, I feel like when we got some dogs, and not to mention, the guy we got from the Redskins, and just all the weapons collectively. Like we got some guys that fly around the ball, that's not afraid of contact, that actually tackle. You know what I mean? When we was hearing reviews on the training camp and everything that was going on, we was just hearing just how dominant the defense have been. You know what I'm saying? Especially going against the Jets, they take advantage of weak offensive linemen. You know what I mean? If they smell blood, you know what I mean? Like, so them guys, they gonna be coming for the Matt Ryan, and he kind of old too. So just like everybody else, be counting down on Tom Brady. You still gotta take into account these older quarterbacks too, because what I'm saying, they might peak off and slack off anytime soon. Because ain't nobody forget Matt Ryan been in the game for a little minute,
yeah,
for
definitely,
sure.
and so that's like so. What is your final prediction on the game?
Man, I would say my final prediction, I would have us winning for sure. And I would have us winning. I'm gonna have us winning by. I'm gonna have us winning by 10. I'm gonna say a score of 28-14.
Okay, man, that's fair.
28-14.
Okay, I can see that. Um, my thoughts on it, it's going to, depend on, a couple of factors. But I
Hmm.
see the Eagles. I'm never going to pick against the Eagles. I mean, even if it's
Right,
their,
right.
you know, obvious that they might lose, I'm not going to pick against them. So what I
Man,
see
yeah.
more is, I think the Eagles. I do think they start kind of slow. I mean, I think they'll get a few things going in the first drive, but things stall out. I think because, like I said, for the lack of reps together
Mm,
in a full game, I think it's going to take a little bit of time. But once they get their
mm.
timing down, now what we have to hope is that because remember we're going down to Atlanta, which has always been
Right.
tough. And you
Man,
know that Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they are going to be loud. They're going to be rocking.
man. First
Fans
game of the season too. That's what,
they're going to be
man.
the fake noise. I mean, they're going to be in there pounding. Now, what we don't
Hmm.
want is for the Falcons to get off to a fast start, and then we're kind of like
Yeah.
stuck in mud because then that could be bad because if it gets
Hell
by the
yeah.
time we get our footing, the game could possibly be too out of hand. So what
Right,
we
right,
need to
right.
do is just if we get the ball first, we got to start fast, not turn the
Hmm.
football over. Play smart, and at the end of it, I could see the Eagles winning. 24-17.
24-17.
Yeah.
Okay, shit, I can see that. I can see that. That mean, for the most part, we're gonna have to start off, what I'm saying, on point, because if it's a nail biter, I don't know how confusing we gonna be making Matt Ryan. He a vet, so he dice up, that zone. But
Yeah.
for
Like
the
you
most
said,
part,
it's not all about the statistics. I mean, it's the W that counts. So, like I
right,
said,
for
I do
real.
think they're going to be a little sluggish, and that's just because not playing
Hmm.
together. But like I said, once they find their footing, but we have to hold Atlanta at bay as well. We can't let them get out,
Man, we got to
super.
start off strong, bro. We got to
We
start
got
off
to take
strong
that
for
crowd
sure.
out of the game.
Yeah, for real. We got to quiet. We got to shut them up for sure, man. Shoot, we've been on this mud almost,
Yeah. So
2 hours.
let's do our NFC East rankings real quick before we shut the station down.
Okay, okay.
You got
Um, Let me go first. I'm gonna say started from the bottom. I'm gonna have to go with the Giants in fourth. Uh, I like I say, I feel like they all talk. I don't feel like they have the cachet to even be talking the mess that they was talking last season. With us losing our last game. So I got them going last because also their offensive line haven't shown any too much improvement, and so no points for them. Then in third, I have to go with Washington. I feel like they're a team that's not gonna be repeating for first place just on the strength they have an inconsistent quarterback who has plenty years in this league, and so with all them years, he is what he is. You know what I'm saying? You can't go from, what I'm saying, what all these years have been saying, what I'm saying, inconsistency, so that he is what he is. And with a defensive line, that they have, I feel like they still gonna be good, but not as good. So ultimately, just a down year, especially especially after seeing what the Cowboys did, last night against the Bucks. They gonna be a team that's not trying to go down without a fight. So I feel like they definitely would be better than the Redskins. So I got them at number two. I got the Cowboys at number two. So with that being said, I got the Eagles at number one, and I just feel like at the end of the day, the Cowboys gonna be Cowboys, and Jalen Hurts gonna be Jalen Hurts, and that's a leader. For the most part, Jalen Hurts has proved one thing: consistency, and that's the fact that he's a playmaker. At the end of the day, he is a playmaker and a guy that's used to winning. He went to two of the most winningest organizations in college and perform well. The Big Lights is something that he is not unfamiliar with. You know what I mean? So this is a city that is built for Jalen Hurts, and this is it really it is crazy how confident I'm in on Jalen Hurts, but I just know that he has the mental it takes. It's a toughness now. I don't know what it is, but I don't have nothing against white quarterbacks. Don't get me wrong, but with Philly, it just seemed like it just seemed like those be the guys that has the the cachet what I'm saying to stand. Literally, Donovan McNabb got booed, and
Mhm.
still if Carson Wentz got booed the way he got booed, like the way Donovan McNabb got booed, bro, it'd be a total different story. So with that being said, like I just ultimately believe that it takes, not saying that just because he's black, but my point is it takes a certain type of character. You know what I'm saying? I believe, other quarterbacks got that type of character. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? That leadership character where you ain't no do boy, you ain't no softy. You gonna do whatever it takes to win. Not saying that Carson Wentz didn't never do what it takes to win, because he did. He just didn't have that cachet about him. You know what I mean? And that's just it is what it's just a natural thing. So I got us number one on and that's with me thinking that we gonna have an offensive line. If we have a healthy offensive line, I'm confident that we're gonna be number one in the NFC East, and I feel like Devontae Smith will establish himself as the number one wide receiver too, going into this season. And I feel another reason I feel like we're gonna be number one is on the strength that Miles Sanders is gonna be more of a factor than he has been in recent years. This is an offense in a scheme that's gonna be predicated, like I said, timing based offense, quick passes, quick screens, quick three step drop passes, and Miles Sanders gonna be that guy for sure. And yeah, and our defense gonna be solid, man. I feel like we got solid defensive ends. Josh Sweat, he coming into the year having a killer training camp. You got Barnett. He been having a cool training camp as well. You know what I mean? He ain't been no slouch. And then you got basically solid defensive line, something that has been consistent year in and year out. You know, our team is predicated on everything up front. So our defensive line is what it is. Now the thing that was the most concerning coming into this year was our back end, our secondary, our corners, who was going to help Darius Slay on the other side. Now our corner in Nelson, you know, he been getting beat, but he more, you know what I'm saying, around the ball. He's not going to get beat on the double moves like you comparing them to Jalen Mills. Like they is still both hand on and everything, but I feel like he more solid when it comes to sticking to his guy. You know what I mean? Like just he ain't gonna be getting beat as much. You know what I mean? It's a complimentary piece. And mind and too, we got a new safety in Harris who is familiar with the defensive
Yes, sir.
coordinator. You know what I mean? So you know, I feel like, and that's another guy low key I'm confident in who is gonna be a big piece in this on this team because you know, mind you, I haven't seen him play a whole ton, but you know, I'm an Eagles fan who you know been watching the Eagles for plenty of years, and I know my team. I'm an energy type guy, so I know you know I'm like I don't know if this guy really is that guy or you know what I mean. Like you just know, you know what I mean. It's that energy, it's that cachet, you know what I'm saying, that a guy has, and you know, I just see that. I just see that. So I feel like every time I watch him speak, he seems like they got a hat. Definitely has that cachet, like that leadership ability. You know what I'm saying? Watching him, so I'm just like, you know, he gonna come in and actually play that noise, be that noise on his team. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, so pretty much just a solid team. Like this, y'all know, it's crazy that I had them number one because I don't know what to expect from this team. You know what I mean? I got them number one, not knowing really anything, but with my experience with not knowing what to expect, it's always good. So I gotta have them number one. And two, another thing that's on our side too is the fact that we was last year. We haven't repeated being last in our division uh and I
In
don't
a
think
long
ever.
time.
You know
In
what
a
I
long.
mean? So like it's been a while. So for us to repeat as that, no, I don't think so. And the only way is up for us in my opinion, because Philly, we're not gonna settle for that. You know what I mean? And this is the most and another thing that's so surprising too, this is the most healthiest we have been in a long time, bro. Like
Long.
we literally going into this game like healthy, yo. Can you
Yeah.
believe that? Like we're healthy, yo. Like
It's
we
been a long
actually
time.
have
Right.
Jalen Rager finished the training camp, no injury. Devontae Smith healthy, Zach Ertz healthy. What? Like this is it's almost unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like and and if anything, we have more weapons than we have this year than we had last year, right? And last year was a season where we had high expectations. Going into that season, nobody was expecting a four win season. You know what I mean? So we definitely had higher expectations. Last season, and for us to get even more weapons and a more fresh system, that's everything that we wanted going into this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm right there with you, man. My rankings are, pretty much the same. I have the Giants last.
Mm,
Washington, like I said, until they really fix their long term quarterback situation,
mm-hmm.
I don't think they go any further than what they've been. Um, Now it's a little interesting between us and the Cowboys. I'm going to
Yeah.
say that we both finished with the same record.
Oh wow.
I'm saying we
Wow.
both go 10-7,
Wow.
and whomever has like the better, tiebreaker record would get the division, and the other
Wow.
get the wild card spot. That's my prediction right now. That could be us. It could be them. I mean, I'm not going to say them over us. I mean, I'm sure it's
Right,
going to be
right,
us,
right.
but I'm not going to say them. But I think it's going to be us. But I think we finish, pretty much tied around the same way. Because, like I said, even before last night, and like I said, I even
Hmm.
have a video documenting my thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys. That
Right,
if
right.
their offense stays healthy, as long
Hmm.
as we're there, they're going to be there. I've
Mm.
said this many times. I think we're going to turn some heads this year. Even without knowing what everything is going to look like. I believe in these young receivers. Our coach. That's what I like to call him, Mr. Rock Paper Scissor. He's a former
Yeah.
wide receiver coach. I mean, I just really believe there's something special coming. Now, when I say special, I don't want fans to jump all over and say, "Oh, he's saying they're going to win the Super Bowl."
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying
yeah.
that at all. I'm just saying the way this offense can come together could be
Man,
something
for real.
special.
Because it's been a long time. I
Exactly.
mean, sure. Yep, man. Dang. The game Sunday, y'all. The game Sunday. You doing anything special for the game?
No, listen, I'm gonna be right here. I got my Eagles notepad so I can take my notes during the game. I'm gonna make a short video on my channel before and after. To
Hmm.
doing a little short preview of the game and then a breakdown after with my notes and everything. But
Okay, okay.
yeah,
So
that's
how
pretty much.
often you how often you plan on dropping a video?
Well, like I said, I have my channel. Eagles Talk from Delco.
Mm,
Gonna put a
right, right. I'm
video.
saying I'm saying on your channel. Like is you gonna upload a video Monday? I'm trying to say so the people can know when to check out your video, you know.
Well, I'll say I'll drop it maybe about 11:30 Eastern time, about an hour and a half before the game. I'll do a
Okay.
video, then I'll upload it. It only takes a few minutes to upload. Then
Right,
I'll
right.
take about 45 minutes just looking at the pregame, trying to get any tidbits I can, and then right after the game is over, I'll do a video breaking down the game, what happened. Hopefully, we're breaking down the W, which I think we
Right,
will.
right. Man,
And
because it's gonna be killer having to get on here talking about a loss, man, for sure.
yeah, yeah, man, we've been on for damn near 2 hours, man. I would say
Oh
it's
God, man.
success, man.
We
I mean,
gonna
not bad for a couple of newbies. I mean, going live
man,
for
for
free.
real. For real. Oh God.
Birdgang,
So
Birdgang 31. He not here to hold our hand. I mean, we
yeah,
out
for
here.
real.
It's either sink or swim. But I'm down with it all day, man.
Man, for real.
Like I
We gonna
said, and let we gotta let the people know, about our network that we're part of. Birdgang
oh God.
Nation, Sports Talk Media. If you guys haven't subscribed, don't wait another second. I mean, this is a movement that you want to be a part of right at the beginning. So the
Yes,
links I'm
sir.
sure is in
Yes,
this
sir.
box. Look us up. Subscribe to my
Yes.
man. D Gifted here. Go to my
Yep.
channel,
Yep.
Eagles Talk from Delco. Sub me up. I think I'm only at like 30 subs. So go ahead and check
Hmm.
my channel out.
Hey,
We all gonna
trust the
grow together. I mean,
process.
we coming. I mean, we one
Yeah,
Eagles
we
Nation.
coming.
We coming. We definitely
Eagles
coming.
Nation, we coming. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to Eagles Talk from Delco. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. He push out Eagles content consistently. You know what I'm saying? Reacting, giving that real, as realistic as possible. They ain't paying us, so we wear our hearts on our sleeve and we gonna give it to you raw. You can check me out on my channel. I'm the Gifted 314. I have my channel where, smoking with the birds, but we all, it's brought to you by Birdgang Nation. It's all one network and y'all can tune in and catch us on there as well. So with that being said, peace and love.
So, peace.